There it is.
Open it up.
That
We both
crack was
got the
good.
seltzers going today, baby.
Are you? You're not doing any of the hard stuff. Look at that thing.
Got a
Well,
long day tomorrow.
welcome
I don't
everybody.
know. I got it from Acme.
Ooh, Acme. Well, I
It's
got this
a
from
V.
Polary. All right, let's get into it. Welcome everyone, children of all ages, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad to have you. I am Harold the Wizard. Beside me is my co-host Brendan the Body Petrilli. You're here for the best sports takes. We are glad to have you in. We are going into
The
week
best
6
show ever.
of the NFL season, the best show ever, the $100 million deal, the soon to be biggest thing ever, the biggest thing that's ever been created. Shirley, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. I got a needy cat right now coming up here. You want to say hi? Come
Yeah,
here.
sure. That could get us a
Come
whole
here.
different audience. Make sure that they could see it.
Oh no. Come on,
There we go.
Sylvie.
There we go. So all the cat
Hello.
ladies, come and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to all the cat ladies. Dude, what's been
I'm
going
going
on,
well,
man? I mean,
dude.
what a
I mean,
crazy.
other than my quarterback getting hurt and
It's
you
all right.
calling me right away with a bunch of other assholes saying it's over,
Tell
go
everybody
fuck
what I
yourself.
did. Tell everybody what I did on Monday.
Yeah, I knew exactly what was going to happen. I got a phone call. I knew it was you coming in after the news that he sprained his shoulder or whatever. It's over. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I hung up right away. I was like, I'm not dealing.
No,
I'm, I
you
just
couldn't
wasn't going
handle
to
it.
deal.
Couldn't handle it. I get it. It's not over. Listen, it sounds like that he could play. I think that Philly's making the right decision by not playing him. I think that you
Yeah.
want him to play regardless. I think that it's a smart move not to have him go.
We'll get
Um,
into it a little as we dive into
yeah,
it here. We're going to
yeah,
recap the NFL games from week 15, give you our
yep.
picks for week 16 coming up here as we're recording during the Thursday night football game, Jacksonville versus the Jets. I mean, Zach Wilson is just absolutely atrocious.
Jack
I feel
Wilson, yeah,
bad for the Jets. But anyway, getting into it, Harry wants to dive into a little bit of college
yeah.
football first.
I
I
got
mean,
to.
it's a
I
little
got to,
spicy.
man.
It's heating up. We got New Year's bowl games. We got the college
Yep.
football playoff. We got some transfers. We got some coaches on the move. Harry, where do you
Coaches
want to
on the
start
move.
it, brother?
Well, listen, man. Here's what it is, right? And I'm talking to the viewers right now. We know that you guys come here. Reason why you guys come here is because we make you money. We get that. We understand that. That's the cake. But the icing is the takes. We give you takes that are timeless. We give you opinions that transform reality and become anew. And we're going to mark it right now. It's December 22nd, 2022, 12/2/2/2/2. And I'm about to give the breakdown of college football that's going to be time stamped for eternity. Talking about Coach Prime, aka he's coming. As he said in his speech, I'm coming. He dressed up in the suit, he had the Colorado hat on, and he let every kid know in there, if you're wearing a hat like I am right now, you're done. You're getting transferred. You're out. And I'm going to give my opinion on what I think about Deion Sanders going to Colorado, Coach Prime. I think that Deion, in short, is going to be extremely successful. And the reason why I say that is because this guy is ready to do things that I think most people think that he's kind of a joke for. I think that people know that he's legitimate on the field, legitimate as a human, but I think there's a lot of people doubting him of can he go past Colorado and can he really make Colorado good? And I think that he set the stage for it to be good just by letting every kid that was in that meeting know I don't want you guys. I want you guys to all fail and for me to get to have my way. So you got to work to stay here. And that right there showed me that what I'm about to say is going to become true. Mark my words, Deion Sanders is going to be at Colorado for 7 years, not 4, not 3, not 5. He's going to be there for 7. The first 2 years are going to be harder than anything he's ever experienced. He's going to lose a lot more than he's going to win. He's going to have a lot of people poking holes in him. He's going to have a lot of people saying they should have never hired him. He's going to have a lot of people saying, get rid of the gold whistle, get rid of the flash, coach. And then that third year, something's going to start to click. And then that fourth year, he's going to win. And he's going to get Colorado after the fourth year to be a +9 win team program. And in year 7, here it is. After year 7, he will be the next head coach of either the Maryland Terrapins or Wisconsin. He is going to be the guy that's going to take away the Big Ten from being a laughingstock of the most wealthy football conference that only has two real frontrunners in it, Ohio State and Michigan. He's going to make it so that the Big Ten should be what it was always meant to be, a true conference that gives real competition. And both of those teams are setting up stages right now where they're still getting slaughtered, they're still losing, but they're trying to create new programs. And they're in the wealthiest conference of them all. That's a laughingstock. It's not the SEC. We all know that there's only two teams that can come out of there, Michigan and Ohio State. One of those two teams is going to have their eyes on him, bring him in, and when he can take a losing organization like Wisconsin or Maryland on the top stage, the conference that gets the most eyes, its own network that everyone tunes into. When he can do that, he's going to be solidified in his greatness. And that's just what I believe. It's a prolific take. A lot of people are going to disagree with it. Why would he go there? He's going to go there because no SEC school needs him. He needs to go to a place that is on the grand scheme that he makes look like the Eiffel Tower. He makes it look like the Statue of Liberty when it started out as a coffee shop with broken glass. And that's what Maryland is right now. That's what Wisconsin is right now. And he's going to put it on the forefront. He's going to get established in Colorado. He's going to show he can do it in the Pac-12, and then he will be a Big Ten coach. That's my take.
I like your ending a lot more than the middle.
Horrible.
The ending, I 100% agree with. That's why he went to Jackson State. That's why he's at Colorado now. There were two smaller schools trying to look where he can put an impact, where he can get his name, where people will look and say, yes, Deion Sanders single-handedly turned this around. And there's proof because nobody else has been able to do it other than him.
Right.
Now, the only reason I hated your middle parts there is the teams. Maryland, maybe. Wisconsin, I mean, I'm wearing the hoodie here. Part of my take, Big Cat talked to him about coming to Wisconsin. He's like, dude, they tried to recruit me. I didn't answer the phone. I'm a guy from South Florida. You think I'm going to fucking Wisconsin?
Yeah.
He's not going to Wisconsin. He's just not. But other than that, I do agree with you at the very end. What your main point was that, yes, he's going to go to a school where he can build them up. Yes, I think there's a lot of Big Ten schools that need that. Maryland can 100% be that team. And I like that team a lot. Other than that, I mean, you can see maybe an ACC school. You know, I mean,
Sure.
you know, everybody was talking Florida State, but neither of them wanted to reunite there. But another ACC school, possibly like a South Carolina or something like that. But
Absolutely.
I think the 7 years is a little too much, honestly, because with the transfer portals where you see guys moving left and right now every other year with the NIL deals, I think he can be a winner in 2-3 years and get to those 9 wins. Just on his name alone, be like, hey, come play with Coach Prime. You saw him have the 2 Lambos out on the field for a couple of recruits. Like, that's all Deion's got to do. He's got to wear the chain. He's got to get the cars, show the
Golden
boys
whistle.
what's good. Say, we can have some fun here. We can win some football games. Come play with my boy at quarterback, and we're going to win games. I think the 7 years is a little bit too long, honestly. I think you need to turn it around in 2, maybe 3, because Colorado gets talent, but now with Deion Sanders there, even more. So that's what I got on that.
Mark my words, bucket.
I liked your ending. 100% agree with that. All right, you want to dive into a couple of the playoffs games?
Yeah,
there
let's
coming
do
up?
it. Let's do it. That's
Yeah,
going to take us from that take's going to take us from 100 million to 200 million. We're each going to get 100. All right, let's hit it. Let's hit the recap of week 15. Here we go. All right. They're here for it. Let's talk about it, dude. I went 3-3. What did you do this week?
I went 3-2.
Okay, 3-2. Hey, that's strong. 500, above 500. We'll take it all week long. We both got fucked on. I mean, dude.
Dallas screwed us.
Dallas screwed. Okay. Do we want to talk about the part? Yeah, let's start with the parlay. If you are a Dallas fan, I hope after that game, looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I hate myself. I hope that you did that because every player on Dallas should be doing that. This is coming from somebody that's not in the NFC East. Okay. I hate you guys. You are -4 and you couldn't cover. This payout was going to be ridiculous. 15 to win 290. This put gas in my tank. Okay. And then I lost. I'm on the phone with Owen and I couldn't look at my phone because I was driving and there was so much traffic. So I call him and I'm like, I said, hey, Siri, call him.
Hands
I'm
free.
talking to him. I'm
Hands
like,
free.
hands free. Correct. We don't do this. Tell me the scores. And he tells me that Dallas isn't covering. And he just starts dying because he proceeds to hear me slam my hand on my steering wheel and just go, cocksuckers. And I was just hitting and hitting and hitting the wheel repeatedly, dude. I can't get over that game. And Siri's actually listening to me right now, screaming cocksuckers because she heard me say her name. I can't get over how well Jacksonville played. And I think that this just shows how much Dallas sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I talked about it a little bit on my own BSP podcast. Go make sure you go subscribe to that. Make sure you subscribe to the Cold One Conversations here. Press the subscribe button. Come on, guys. We know you're watching the video. Press the subscribe button, please. How much do we have to beg? We need them. We need them. We need them. We need them.
We need them.
Right there, probably. I don't know. But anyway. Dallas, Dak Prescott thinks everybody thought he was going to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is what Dak Prescott was supposed to be. He was supposed to be a mobile guy that can throw the ball around the field, that confidence, the swagger to lead a team. Dak doesn't have that. All he has done in the years where he needs to come up big is choke. Now, Jalen hasn't gotten there yet, obviously. I'm not saying that he has, but Jalen Hurts proves that he has that X factor. He's not pouting. He keeps his chin up. He's got that confidence in him no matter what. If they their defense isn't living up to the standard, he's like, hey, we're good, guys. I'll make it up for us. Or if the defense is making it up for them too, he's like, hey, I'm going to make a play for us. I know I've sucked. I'll make a play for us. Dak Prescott cannot do that. He hasn't done it his whole career. And they suck because of it. They're never going to win because everybody's like, oh, he threw for 500 yards. It's on the defense, this and that. No, when it comes down to it, he couldn't score in the last 5 minutes of the game. You had chances to go and win the football game for your team, but you let the Jacksonville Jaguars come back and score 10 points in the last 5 minutes of a football game where you could have ran the clock out. I thought you had the two best running backs. No. You throw interceptions, you fumble the football, you throw a pick six to lose the game. You guys suck. But we're going to get into this Eagles-Dallas game coming up in a little bit. But anyway, they're not a good football team. They're a joke. They got a lot of holes in them. I'm sorry, Harry. You got me going.
No, I mean, everything that you said is true, dude. And as a person that's not connected to them as an in-division rival, I was banking on them to make us fucking money. I mean, dude Dallas minus 4 on the road.
The one time I take them, dude, I hate taking them. And I'm saying, 4 points? Come on, that's too much. Like, not enough for that. And I just feel like a fucking idiot. Like, I knew that. Once I said that, you just knew. You just knew that that's the way that was going to go. But I'm happy about it because this game coming up now this Saturday doesn't mean jack shit anymore. And we'll get into it in a little bit.
But at the end of the day, the parlays are always close. And that's why you're sticking with us. That's why you're sticking with us. And how good was that take that I said take the Giants money line, dude? One outright, baby. We should have put 100 just on them out. That should have been the parlay. Giants money line. Giants money line. 120.
We almost would have lost it. Except the refs, throwing flags at the very end of the game.
Hey, that's the one time when I'm supporting it. Okay, I'm good if the refs intervene and it's making me money. God bless. Any other time, I don't like to see it. All right, let's keep the recap going. Let's dive into another game that cost us. Rams on the road, Green Bay, 24-12. 24-12. Green Bay wins. We took 39.5 over. Another primetime game. Baking May had a bad deal, was on his back a lot. My biggest takeaway from the game, dude, it kind of reminds me of, it might have been week 7 or 8 when we said Aaron's way too aware of the cameras. Green Bay might have won, dude, but damn, did they have opportunities that they didn't seal the deal on. Damn,
Yeah,
did they not get it done? They could have scored.
and
They
they
could
knew
have
that.
scored a minimum of 2 more touchdowns that game that they didn't get. And I think that that's a game right there. You're at home. You're against, the previous the defending Super Bowl champion. Obviously, it's not the same team. Ton of injuries. Doesn't even have the same starting quarterback. But that's a game where it's like, come on, dude. You got all these opportunities. Make it work with these young guys and make it seem like you want to be there. And to his credit, Aaron did play like he wanted to be a Packer. But damn, dude, you gotta finish. I mean, we're talking about Dak not finishing. Dak's not been a back-to-back MVP. Dak's not considered in the top 5 to 7 best of all time. And this guy is going against a team that's playing at times missing an arm, missing a leg. They're flattening out the guy who's playing quarterback. What'd you say?
Missing a back or a neck, Matt
Yeah,
Stafford.
missing a back or a neck. They're missing every body part. They're putting a mannequin in there to play some positions. He couldn't get it done, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think it just speaks to overall our opinion of Green Bay this season, which is Aaron has set a precedent that he is not completely bought in. I think it's contributed to many of their losses. And yes, they had a win, but God, could it have been bigger? I mean, dude.
Yeah. At the very end of that game, I mean, you saw him multiple times throughout the game giving those hand signals to his receivers. He would see stuff at the line of scrimmage and try to do, tell him, hey, let's audible to this and that. And his guys just wouldn't look at him. What
Right.
made Aaron Rodgers so great throughout his career was his wide receivers knew when he was out of the pocket to make a play, to go
Sure.
somewhere where Aaron would throw the ball. These guys have no idea how to do that. Like all these Jordy
Yeah.
Nelsons, Randall Cobbs when he was
Yep.
younger, and the like back in the day, Devontae
Vontae
Adams,
Adams.
they all knew those off-script plays to go back to him
Right.
and get open for him because they'll throw it to him. These guys don't even turn around.
No.
He
They
throws
just
it at
go.
their backs.
Yeah.
He literally, he's like, you're not looking at me. I'll throw it right at your back to make you look like a fucking idiot. Like that's how petty idiot he is.
Yeah. He's too aware of the
That's
camera, dude.
yeah, he is way aware of it. He knows that, hey, this is gonna look bad on you, not me. And now he just looks like a jackass, honestly. And I've been an Aaron Rodgers fan. I like the way
Me
he
too.
outspoken about stuff, but like, dude, you're not a great teammate when it comes
Not
down
at
to it.
all.
You don't hear a lot of people talking well
No.
about him. Yeah, he has his one or two guys, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. It just looks a little rough when it comes down to it.
So let's dive into this. And this is a take here. This isn't a recap. I want to get your now. Obviously, a lot can change if they get these wins done, which we're going to get into later in the show. But dude, is he going to be a Packer next year? I don't think so.
I think so. I think he's one more for sure. Because you have seen the guys like Watson, Lazard kind of come around a little bit, and they have some talent there. They can get a receiver. It doesn't. I don't know.
I don't think he
Whether they'll
likes it
sign or trade.
there though, dude.
He's been there so long at this point. I think he does. I think he always talks about the cold weather, the fans, how they feel like they have
Right.
that advantage. So I think it's not so much Green Bay. It's a lot on the organization as itself because
No.
he really hasn't
Yeah.
been a part of the organizational talk until he held out
Recently.
this past summer. Yeah.
Correct.
So I think that's his biggest gripe is with the organizational front of it, not so much the fans or the team itself.
No, I don't
So
think it's the fans either. Yeah.
I think if they suck up to him enough, Aaron, we love you, blah, blah, blah. You're getting 50 million. We'll try
Right.
to get you a guy or two. They can make it work.
Absolutely. All right, let's dive into a game that everybody was taking the over, everybody was taking the under, or they were taking Buffalo -7. Miami, Buffalo, Miami on the road.
Snow doesn't matter. Snow does not matter.
Snow doesn't matter.
When it comes to the over, it doesn't.
Well, and it goes to the point that we both made, right? And this is something that I think that we both very much believe in. When good teams play down, the next week they're looking to pop off, right? And what happened in week 14? Miami loses on the road to the Chargers 23-17, and Buffalo only beats the Jets 20-12. They were both looking to score and score big time. Now, my issue is this. Buffalo doesn't cover, that game. Everybody got fucked who took that -7.5. Thankfully, we both did. We said hammer it, and God did it hit. But we're seeing that Buffalo, time and time again, and this is what I don't understand about the national media being so gung-ho about Buffalo. I can't get it, dude. I've said it a million times on the show. They have a lot of chips in their armor, dude. I mean, Miami, who's just starting to get it together this year for the first time, is on their heels, bro. Like we can't say that if Tua gets another year with the same offensive coordinator, first time in his career, that they can't win that division next year. We can't say that. Like
we can't say that Tua can't.
No, we can't. No, we can't say that Tua can't. You can't definitely say
okay.
that Buffalo's got it locked.
Yeah.
They have got way too many chips in their armor. But everybody is talking like that they're God level NFL. No, they're not.
No, they're not. I agree.
And they're burning betters all the time, dude. I can't get over it. I mean, Josh Allen is a great quarterback.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
That's your hatred right there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, they burn me a lot. And it's like, dude, listen, Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. He's an A to A+ talent who makes a lot of B+ guys look like A-. And now that they don't have their defense, especially the loss of Von Miller, dude, they're not the team that they were weeks 1 through 5.
Yeah, where's Gabe Davis been, bro?
I mean, no idea. Lost on the field.
Everybody's been locking up and focusing on Stephon Diggs.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously that's going to happen as the number one guy. That wasn't happening at the beginning of the year, but now it is. But where's the number 2? Where's the number 3? Where's Dawson Knox? Like, they have some other random guys, McKenzie and a couple other backup tight ends getting touchdowns, but nobody else is producing yards. You need guys to get 40+ yards a game to sustain an offense, to feel confident, to dominate games. And they don't have anybody other than Stephon right now. Like, where is Gabe Davis? Where is Dawson Knox?
Absolutely.
Those are your B+ guys that he makes an A, but they just aren't getting open for him right now, or he just can't find them.
And I think that just comes from, I mean, listen, people might be in the comments saying, Harry, Josh Allen has been getting hate lately. And that's true. I mean, the reporter who said to him, he was like, this doesn't look like an offense that can, win a Super Bowl. He's like, okay, which was a great response by him. Don't get me wrong. I give a lot of credit for that. But that reporter's right, dude. I mean, what he said flat out, even though it's like, shut up, dude, he is right in what he said. This doesn't look like an offense that can win a Super Bowl right now. The Eagles do. Kansas City does. Cincinnati does. Cincinnati right now, in my opinion, is better than Buffalo. It's a better team. And that's polar opposite. Weeks 1 through 5, Buffalo, compared to weeks 1 through 5, Cincinnati. You thought you were looking at a train wreck with Cincinnati. Planes going down. Abort. Get those oxygen masks on. We're not coming back from this. And now Cincinnati's the real deal again. So my whole takeaway is, do not buy too much stock in this Buffalo company too quickly, dude. Miami is the real deal. Jack McLaughlin's going to love this, our boy, but Tua with this second year, with the same offensive coordinator, dude, they're going to be able to rock and roll. He's the real deal. He's got to do one more year and he's going to get a contract. And I think that he will. But this Buffalo team, man, they're skating on thin ice. And I'm going to do another hot take right now. I would not be surprised if they don't make it to the AFC Championship.
The Dolphins?
No. The Bills.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Sorry, I was looking at a bet.
you're good. And I think a lot of people think that they're an automatic lock. Them and KC.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, what's the playoff picture right now? Would the ability for a KC
Well, right now KC's
Cincy?
got the 1 seed, and
Okay.
then after that, I believe it would go Buffalo, then um Buffalo. Come on, I hate the internet
Yeah, dude.
so much.
Yeah, dude.
Wait a minute. Now it's
Yeah,
11. They're both 11-3. Fuck. Wow, that caught up to you. So Buffalo's got it first, actually, right now.
yeah,
And
they
then
still have
the
it
the
first.
Bengals are right behind them at 10-4. Your Ravens
Yep,
nine
they're
and
still in
five.
it. We're gonna get into it.
You
They're
got you
still in
guys
it.
are taking advantage of a bad division, brother.
We've taken it. I mean, yeah, I would be
Let
calling it out
let's
for anybody.
transition into that after we finish up this talk about who in the AFC there. But that Bills team, if they can get, that's going to be the biggest thing coming down here the last couple games of the year is who can finish with that one spot. Because if Kansas City's got to go up to Buffalo, in January in the freezing cold, you like your chances with the Bills. I mean, you've seen Patty Mahomes be able to do it, but it's tough. It's really, really hard to go and do it again and again and again. And you'd rather be in front of your home fans. Both of those cities they're crazy. They're up
Crazy
there
and
with the
cold.
Eagles, just below. We got to get the end of this maybe on something. That have to come up with like other topics, but you see like the whole Kansas City super fan ordeal with one guy.
Dude, how
Like,
crazy is that?
like
Dude dresses up. He brought a piece and he went and robbed
yeah,
somebody, dog. He went and robbed the bank.
he was robbing banks. Every
Yeah,
away game,
dude.
supposedly, he would go rob a
And posted on
bank on the
social media. He's like,
way.
I'm out here. He's like, I got
Yeah,
this down, dude. Yeah. Crazy, dude.
insane.
No, I mean, here's what I'm going to tell you, bro. With the loss of Von Miller for the season, KC on the road to Buffalo, KC minus 1,000. And that's just my opinion. I don't care.
Mm.
KC is the better team right now than Buffalo by a long shot. And I would also say that I think that right now, momentum wise, dude, the way that Cincinnati riled back and just made Tampa look like that they were a practice squad. Dude, I think that Cincinnati, I hate to say this, but Cincinnati right now, I think could be better than Buffalo.
Yeah.
And hey, I could be proven damn well wrong. Don't get me wrong. Josh Allen's top 3 quarterback in the league right now. I mean, Jalen Hurts, him, and we'll get into the top 5 later. Jalen Hurts 1, Patty 2, him 3. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I think that the Bills are not as solid as people think. All right, let's go into that Ravens game, and then I'll give the top 5 quarterbacks. How about before I give my
Oh,
tee this
that
off
was
about
sorry. Withdraw my statement. Bad division. I don't know why ESPN lists it like this, but I was thinking, totally forgot Bengals are in the division
yeah,
with. That's
and
bad on me. It's the way ESPN had this listed. That's my fault.
listen,
But yeah,
man, sometimes when you are inflated with, wins that really don't matter and your team's not the real deal and you're going to lose in the first round, it happens. You start speaking out of turn. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of Eagles fans are doing. They're speaking out of turn. You know what I mean? They're speaking. Do you agree? So you can't end this because we're in the middle of a podcast. So you can't end it like you ended the call.
so this is why you go subscribe to the YouTube page at Colon Conversations because Harry's about to open up a can of ass whooping on his ass right now.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm about to do.
To the screen.
Well, let's talk about it. Even if Lamar was in this game, I think they were losing this football game. That's how bad your football team
Ooh.
is. You
So
want me to go there?
I mean that's
You want me to go there? I'll go there.
fair take. It's
Your
fair
team
take.
fucking sucks, dude. I'm not gonna baby you anymore. Your defense isn't that great. Your offense is atrocious. You got nobody. Even with a backup in, you still can't run the football. You got no weapons. You got nothing. You got no coaches. Harbaugh doesn't know what he's doing anymore. What does he do? What does Jim Harbaugh do for that team? other than just maybe chew some gum on the sideline? Tell me, what does he do? Does he coach the defense? Does he coach the offense? Now, Nick Sirianni, you could say, doesn't really do either. But, well, you know what Nick does? Nick fires the boys up when we're scoring touchdowns. You guys don't score touchdowns anymore.
No, we don't. Here's my takeaway. Defense was bad for one reason and one reason alone. Past fucking 5 weeks, they've been the only fucking part of the fucking team. There is, without a doubt, everything you said, bro, is correct to some point. I mean, besides the part about the defense, our defense is the real deal. We're ready to rock and roll.
They've gotten better, but I'm not scared of them.
Well, you're not scared of them because they can't score. If this team was scoring the way that they used to with this defense, there wouldn't. I will go as far to say that there wouldn't be a team better in the AFC than the Ravens. But they suck. But they suck because their offense can't get anything done. Our coaching has been absolutely abysmal almost all season long. It's either been on the defensive end, then it became on the offensive end, then it was, taking 4th and 1s when we didn't need to take 4th and 1s. And when I knew that the game was lost was right now, because I turned off the game for a few minutes. I had to go and pray. Justin walks out, and as an avid listener of the show, for the 50 subscribers, we need him more, as we've been saying. 52, I've told 52. You this. 52. We don't forget
could be 53.
Could be 54, 5,500 million.
No.
When Justin walks out, Trilly, you already know what I'm going to say, and he hits it. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
He goes out. We're going into 6 minutes into the second quarter left. Crosses. He's inside the 50. And it goes left. And right there I go, God's not on our side. I turned it off. I had to go pray. Because when he talks to God and he doesn't hit, something up there is saying we're not doing something right down here. And I knew right there it was over. I think that
real quick on J Tuck, real quick.
Talk to me.
He has raised the bar too high for kickers because normally you have a bad game like that. It was bad weather, whatever, but he has been so good throughout his career. He's the definition of why you should keep the bar low. When you're working, just keep it low. When you're following people's picks, keep it low. 55%, 67, 63%, like what we're hitting at now. That's phenomenal. But see, when you start getting up into those 70, 80, 90%,
too high expectations.
Too high. That's what J Tuck's done. And when he misses one or two, you're like, should he retire? Does he not have it anymore? When the guy's just always been automatic in his career, you see him miss one, he misses two. I agree with you. God, he might have crossed him wrong one of these.
Yeah, he might have crossed him.
He might have missed a Father, Son, and he missed the Holy Spirit or something.
Yeah, he might not have gotten out Holy Spirit. He might have just said holy. Oh shit, I gotta stop it. And then he went, and God was like, heard that, and then didn't let him get it. No, 100%. What I think it also comes down to, dude, our biggest takeaway from this is our offensive coaching by Greg Roman has been absolutely fucking abysmal. Our packages that we are setting up for Oliver, for Drake when he's played, for Edwards at times, because Dobbins really isn't a receiving running back the way that Edwards is. And for Andrew specifically, as you've been hearing me rant on these past weeks, are horrible, dude. I mean, we don't look like we want to score. The Ravens can sneak in, but if we keep playing the way, I mean, dude, Lamar's out against the Falcons. Ravens are -6.5. We'll get into the bets later. Yeah, dude, I don't know. We can't throw the ball. We can only intercept the ball, as we did against Pittsburgh. And yeah, dude, I think that right now it's sad to say that we could have been so good, and yet we are so close to being fucked. And what makes no sense to me right now is while we have the money that we have, that we are not the team that has made it clear to a guy like Odell. We have all this. No, but I'm being serious.
He's say this every week.
I do, because he's the only guy who's available right now. He's the only veteran guy who we can go and throw money at, bring him in, and make a chance. There's going to be other guys next season. I'm worried about today. I'm worried about this season. I'm worried about making it to an AFC title. I'm worried about you and I being together almost ending this show because we got to watch a Bird Super Bowl all the way through. And we both pull out a knife. We go to stab one another. That happens. That happens if we go get somebody like OBJ. There's nobody else on the market. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Ravens, dude. I think that we're very concerned about the whole Lamar thing, and not having him signed. I think right now we're fucked, dude. I mean, it fucked us. It fucked us to lose that game against the Browns, dude. It let Cincinnati's got the division right now. So
Yeah.
it's not where we want it. It's not good.
I mean, my biggest thing watching that game, right? I know Gus and Dobbins have both been out for a while. They both look fat. They look real fat.
And they had good games against Pittsburgh.
They were running guys over. That way, extra weight was helping with that. But I don't know. It was looking rough. Nobody was explosive.
No.
Yeah. Hey, I always root for you. I want you to be happy. But if you guys get in, you're a team that nobody wants to play. I would say that 100%. Just because of the defense. If Lamar can come back, sure. Lamar can always make a play for you. He can always get you some points whenever make something happen. So you're definitely a team that nobody wants to play in the first round.
But dude, if we can't throw the ball, we're fucked. And right now we can't throw the ball.
Well, you know what? A team that can throw the ball has got a lot of weapons, and that's been the biggest key when we talk about the best teams that we've seen is the team in your division, Cincinnati Bengals. They got guys to throw to all over the place. T. Higgins, Boyd, and Jamar Chase.
Crazy game, dude.
They were down big early. Tampa was rocking and rolling. You're like, hey, maybe Tom's got this.
Tom's got it. He's proving us wrong.
Waiting to say it. We've been waiting to say it.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Joe Burrow, cool, calm, and collected. Joe Burr comes back and just makes his way down the field. A lot of errors
on the road
on the side of Tampa Bay to let them back in it. They capitalized when they weren't early. They're making plays. Joe was making plays. And they're a scary team. They're a good football team.
Very. They're really
score
good.
fast.
Dude, like they're really settled, and like to come back from how, as you just said, how they were down, and then to frankly just handle Tampa was really like again, that game solidified to me why I think that they're a better team than Buffalo is. Now, don't get me wrong, Miami's a much better opponent than Tampa Bay is. But at the same time, dude, they didn't just get back in the game and win. They got back in the game, handled them like they were rocking a baby to sleep, and won on the road. And again, it's so scary to think about how now they hold the division when they started out with their quarterback on track to get sacked 100 times. They changed all that. The Ravens were on track to score 28 points plus, and now we're second in the division. And possibly, if we don't get things smart now, maybe not even make the playoffs. But that's the NFL. That's the great thing about this sport, right? You really, truly never know what's going to happen, and that's what gives us so much.
They could have rolled over and died. They could have rolled over and died. 17-0.
Take the first round. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they didn't. That's a team that's a winning football team.
Yes.
They looked themselves in the face and grabbed each other's face mask and said, "What the hell are we doing here, boys?" Mm-hmm. And they turned it around. And that's what the leader does. That's what Joe Burrow does. And that's what made them turn their season around last year to get to a Super Bowl. Losing it, but to get there. And now they're looking to try to turn it around again. And they're going to be a good team for the next 10 plus years with that guy at the helm.
Let's do some Eagles quick, and then we'll close out Detroit, New York. Do we want to take the break?
Eagles hit it real quick. We got less than a minute here before this cancels out on us. All I got on the Birds, win's a win. Jalen sucks. I mean, running the ball, you want to say he runs the ball too much. That's a part of his game. That's what makes him so special. He's got 10 plus rushing touchdowns on the year, 700 rushing yards on top of the 3,000 plus that he's got through the air. The guy's a stud. That's what makes him special. That's what makes the offense so dynamic. I'm not worried about.
Okay, go.
If Jalen Hurts needed to play in this game against Dallas coming up, I feel like he would. You had him out there on the podium. early in the week talking about his injury, answering questions, having Nick say pretty much that he's built different, his body's different than ours, which is 100% true. I feel like if they needed him to play, but since Dallas choked and they suck and they are the worst franchise in the history of franchise of sports, that wasn't a good phrase, but you get my point. He could have played. I'm cool with Minshew. I'm happy with the way he played in that game. He struggled at the start, 2 picks. He was saying the cold bothered him a bit. He was having trouble feeling his hands. It was so cold. A lot of the guys talked about how cold it was, which is surprising because, you're hearing so much about the cold weather in Buffalo with Miami and other teams throughout the league. Barely heard about the Eagles going into that game, but Chicago is different when it comes to like that. Way different than Philadelphia is at this time of year. I'm not worried. Jalen will be back. The season's not over. Fuck all you guys that are all just assholes. I mean, that's all I got to say about this game. We're moving on. It's Dallas week. We're gonna get into that and our other picks coming
It's
up
Dallas
here.
week.
But what do you got, Harry, on that game? Anything?
No, I'm not even going to talk about that game. I'm more concerned about this coming week, really. I mean, the only thing I'll just say is, like we said, a win's a win. Chicago, dude, they're not there yet, but they are building something, right? If you're a Chicago fan, you're so happy with that loss. You're so happy to see that you
got Fields and you got a cornerback, and that's about it.
Right. But at least you got your
got
QB.
2 solid pieces. Yes. If you have the
Yes.
QB, you can figure it out after that.
Right.
And it gives you hope. That does.
And the big thing I think for Chicago is they are they understand, though, that their history as a team is defensive born. They understand that they are in an offensive league, and that's where their focus needs to be. And that's why, as a Chicago fan, he came within 5 points of right now the best team in the league. That's really good. I think the thing for the Eagles is just like, listen, man, you're going to have hard games. There's different cadences. I think that run by Jalen for scoring that touchdown, that's all over every thing that you'll see on Instagram where it just opened up left to right. He could just basically jog into the end zone. That was pretty sick. What I will say is I think it's great that he's not playing this week. You do not want to put your star in a position where if any little thing could go wrong.
But it's Dallas week, Harry.
It doesn't matter though, dude. I would be saying the same. I would be saying the same thing to you if you were telling me this. If it was Ravens Pittsburgh and Lamar had a chance, you'd be saying the same to me. I'd be like, but it doesn't matter. And as an outsider, what I'll say is yes, except that other team is gunning for Hurts, just like the Steelers are gunning for Lamar. They're going to look to clip
they know
him,
they're not getting anywhere.
But that's the truth. They know that they're not getting anywhere. So why would they not try to destroy your dreams?
They're terrible humans.
They are. They're horrible. I just need to see Jason Kelly this week against Dallas be on the 1 yard line.
Kelsey, bro. It's Kelsey.
What did I say? Kelly? Take the hype.
You keep saying Kelly.
Well, because I like that name more. Jason Kelly. It's good. It rolls off the tongue better. But he's got the most swag in the NFL.
An all-pro, too. They're both all-pros.
Both 99s.
Probably the best
brother duo in the NFL, yes.
Ever. In the history of sports, maybe. Honestly.
Okay, I don't know about in the history.
No, I swear to God, look it up, dude. The two of them have multiple All-Pros. Kelsey is probably one of the best, not if the top 3 center in the league ever in the history of the NFL. Travis is probably top 3 also in the history of the NFL of tight ends. Yeah. It's hard to argue. Those two dudes, and they're funny as shit, bro. They're good guys. They're cool dudes.
I heard they're going to have us on soon. The point being is, all right, let's close out. Let's go to my lock, which hit Detroit, as you would say. Detroit plus 1.5 on the
Randy
road
McGregor's baby
against the Jets. Dude, did you see that end game speech by what's his name? By their head coach. What's his name? Campbell. Dude, he's like, now you guys are establishing something. You just won 4. This is where it starts. We're going next week. Can you do it again? I believe in you guys. And it's like, dude, if you are one of his players, I get why guys love him, because he's this massive human being that I think just inspires these athletes that are making more than him. Right. And that's pretty cool. What I think is interesting is that Detroit showed in a game where clearly the defensive differences were lopsided, right? Even though, yes, you had brought up points last week that Detroit's defense has been stepping up. They weren't up until that game in the same class that that the Jets were. It doesn't help the Jets that Zach Wilson was playing and not Mike White. But, dude, Detroit could make the playoffs, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
and this was
100%.
a big win for it.
Big time.
Listen, they got the job done. They got my lock 13-10. It's a win. It wasn't pretty. It was cold nose football. Jared Goff again is kind of to me solidifying why he's going to get a contract. And so is Dan Campbell. They found their they found their Andy Reid. They found their guy. He's going to be there. And people are still out on him. I get it, but he is the embodiment of what that team needs. That team is in a city that it's hard to get people to come out to. People are passionate, but it's in so many ways. The organization has been crumbling for so long, and now to have this guy that I think can really embody kind of the Detroit style of heavy labor, true grind to the nose, and then bring that and be a professional. And now you might even have a quarterback, who's maybe not the quarterback of the future, but gets another contract.
Yeah,
Detroit's in a good
that'll
spot,
be
dude.
interesting.
They're in a good
That's
spot.
their biggest question mark is probably him, and he's probably played the best and most
Yeah,
consistent all year.
absolutely.
Is they have talent, all over this team now, from high draft picks and finding the right guys later in the draft. So I mean, you figure out whether Jared's a guy moving forward. I agree with you with Campbell. He's a leader. That's what they've needed. They
Right.
need somebody to give the validity and confidence in this franchise that they just haven't had. All
Right.
their other coaches, Caldwell's and who even else, Matt Patricia,
Matt
those
Patricia.
guys,
Yes.
they didn't have the confidence, the
No.
energy that they needed in that franchise and that city to lead them to victories. They were all losers, when it came down to it. Dan Campbell, he is a guy that he might not be the smartest guy in the room, but he's going to work his ass off and
Ass
try
off.
and make sure he gives everything
Danny
and
Cam. That's what they call him.
to have a chance to win football games. Yeah. So
Danny
I mean,
Cam.
you see when he was crying, how pissed off he was on some of his decisions earlier in the year where they just weren't working out. But now they
Right.
are. They're going their way. They're on a roll. I like their chances.
The
They're a good
crying's a
team.
little much. The crying's a little much. Listen,
But
dude.
I like the passion. I agree,
I
but
love the passion, but I would
you
rather
can
see a
cry
player
lot.
cry.
You can cry. Yeah.
I'd rather see a player cry than him. He's the head coach. He's got to understand that because what worries me about that, but again, that's his character. That's what it comes with. You can't turn that off. But what worries me about it is that can set a precedent where we can get overly emotional. He's got to separate that. But that's him. And what he's doing is working.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right, would you rather see Dan Campbell cry, or would you rather see Aaron Rodgers cry showing their passion for the team?
Aaron, by far.
You rather see Aaron cry?
Yeah, because that would not, especially now, because that would say to me that he wants to play. But let's say 3 years ago, right? When it was Tom's first year at Tampa and they went on and beat, and Aaron goes on the road and loses. Back then, even Aaron cried. Yes, Aaron, because he's the guy who's out on the field. He's the guy taking the snap. He's the guy getting all the information. He's the true leader of the team. The head coach is just puts things in the position. Let's see how it goes. But at the end of the day, the head coach, though, is the guy who steers the ship.
Which is a leader, the true leader.
Yes, a leader, but he steers it outside of the field.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and what worries me is that if that guy's crying, what are people saying outside? Because things that happen outside can greatly affect what happens on the field. So I'd love to see a guy like Aaron, like even Tom. Like I could see Tom, when I could see Tom crying. I mean, he'd rather throw an iPad through Bruce Arians, bald head, but That's just my opinion. But again, dude, I'm also not going to take away from it because I do believe that Dan Campbell's doing the right thing there. And I do believe that he could be the coach of the future for Detroit. And
Yeah,
a lot of people don't see that yet, I don't think.
sure.
Some people do, and a lot of people are like, we'll see. I'm like, I think he's there.
Yeah. No, I mean those little cats, they got some life in them, that's for sure. A
All
lot
right.
more than they've had in the past. I mean, do we even want to hit on that New England blunder
No,
real quick before we get into our bets now? I
no.
mean,
Because that's just, you put it perfectly. A blunder. It was a laughing stock of an end of a game.
absolutely brutal. I mean,
I mean,
the
Billy
only thing I
Bell.
gotta say on that, Mac Jones has got to grab nutsack. You know what I'm saying? Like when he Chandler Jones catches that ball from Jacoby Myers, Mac Jones has got to grab nuts or dick or something to bring
He's
down
got to
Chandler Jones.
twist it. Yeah.
Yeah, like because that
You
was
got to
rough.
make a
That
play.
was
Well, what did PFT say?
You
He
got to
was
play
like,
dirty at that point, dude.
no,
Like,
you do. PFT was like, Zappy's making that tackle. And it's true. It's like, he's like, Zappy's making it. And it's true. Like, dude, he's another guy kind of like, who do you think? I mean, well, it's clear Zach Wilson's more on the hot seat, but it's kind of like, dude, I don't really think that. I think that New England's got to get somebody different in there, dude. Like they
what, head
do.
coach or quarterback?
No, not head coach, quarterback. Just like here's what I'll say. I a
They
hundred
need
percent.
they need an offensive coordinator. I mean, Big Cat said this the past couple weeks is, normally
Yeah.
that year 2, 3 is when a quarterback is supposed to blossom, to
Yep.
find himself in an offense, build around him. You've seen that with Hurts and other guys moving forward throughout this year. Right now we're watching, Trevor Lawrence. There guys are starting to get built around. They didn't do that in New England. You got two guys calling plays in Patricia and Joe Judge. Neither of them know who's doing what. They
Right.
don't have any offensive weapons other than like Ramondre Stevenson, who's been hurt.
Right.
Harris has been hurt. You got Nelson Aguilar dropping babies. So, I mean, you feel bad for the guy. If he had a stable thing of weapons, comparable coaches, but that all goes back on Belichick because he's the GM, he's the guy hiring guys, and he's the one, end of the day, making the decisions, putting these guys in charge of what's going on with Mac Jones, and he's going to take a big hit because of it.
Absolutely.
Let's get
All
into
right.
the bets here
Let's
for this
do it, dude.
upcoming week. This is what
We're
the people
starting
are
with
here
our
for. We're
dogs.
here to make your money. We're
This is what we
floating
do.
around 63% on the year. Last week I went 3-2. What, you went 3-3?
3-3. And let's just break that down. You said 63%. Do you bitches understand? You got to do 52.9 to be a professional. We have never collectively gone under 55%. I mean, that's how tremendous we are. We make you money. This is why we ask you to subscribe. We're giving you the winning bets and we're asking for something free. Click the button. Click the button. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. All right. Truly, let's start with our dogs and our underdogs. This is an interesting week, man. This is
What
another
I was
interesting.
telling you, Harry,
Yeah,
before
what
the
were you saying?
podcast here,
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of underdogs this week. Last week, you could talk me into like the
Yeah.
Falcons. You could talk me into maybe the Bears. You
I
could
get
talk me into
it.
Cleveland, who ended up pulling it out. The Colts, who ended up choking. We didn't even talk about
Oh,
that, but
God. Yeah. I don't even think we need to. Enough people have given their opinions.
exactly. But you know what I'm saying? There's been a
But
lot
the
of up and
overhit.
down.
The overhit.
I don't like any dogs really. I like two. I
Okay,
like
well,
two.
well,
Where
we'll
do we
save
want to
it.
start? I'll let you go first.
Okay. All right. So we're starting
Just
with
to
we're
see
starting with our
how you're feeling.
unders and our underdogs. And listen, dude, I did something unusual last week, right? I did, me, I'm a big underdog and dogs guy. I took a lot of overs last week. I did 3 overs. And how many hit? I think three. The Miami and the Minnesota game. The Chargers one did. I went 2 out of 3 on those. That's good. I think these lines are interesting. The line that's freaking me out the most, I usually started off. Sometimes I'll start out with them or I'll end it. It's usually they either start or they end. Is this Falcons Ravens game? I got to talk about it to open it up, dude. Ravens -6.5 without their starting quarterback after losing on the road to a divisional rival. Falcons are catching 6.5, over under 35.5.
That's, jeez.
I mean, that's so little amount of points, yet I understand because of how little the Ravens performed. I think that this line is also saying to you that they don't believe that Atlanta is going to score because they overperformed this last week when the Saints were going on a run and then they kept it close. You had a great pick there. Did that hit?
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
took the Falcons.
So I think that I think that Atlanta overperformed. My whole thing is do the Ravens suck that bad? That's what this over under says to me is does Vegas really think that the Ravens are this bad that they just virtually cannot score? Um, I don't know. I'm not. I right now I can't touch that game, but that's the game that I want to, but I can't. All right,
That's what I'm
let's.
saying, bro. Like, I don't like a lot of these underdogs here. Like, I would just
Yeah,
take the Ravens, honestly. But at the
but
same time,
we're on
why
unders.
is it so why is it so much? You know what I'm saying? That once you want to take the Falcons
Right.
there just because they have played so tight all year, but
Yes,
you got a rookie QB in there. Why
absolutely.
is he catching only, I don't know.
So the
Yeah.
first under that I'm doing is I'm doing the New York Giants on the road to the Vikings under 48. I'm doing
Mhm.
under 48.5 because I know it's going to go to 48.5. I'm going to tell you my reasoning right now. Minnesota's offense is going to be absolutely shot. They just came back from the biggest deficit in NFL history, came back and won a game down 33 points. They're at home. They're going to stick to their guns. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to dish it every once in a while to Jefferson. But mainly, I think that this is going to be a game of managing clock. This is not going to be a big scoring game. The Giants had a tough in-division rivalry, primetime game, win 20-12. I said take the Giants money line for the parlay this past week. It hit. I don't think that either team score well here. I don't like the 4. I think that Minnesota should be catching at least 6.5. So I don't want to touch that. I like the under. I think the points are enough where I can pad it. I'm going to do 48.5. That's my take. I think that that's good. I think that this is a 21-10 game, a 20-6 game. I don't see this being a shootout, and I don't see Minnesota having their way. I think they're going to be tired.
Yeah. This was other than the one. You know what? Screw it. Because I was going back and forth, back and forth. I was thinking about taking the Giants as my underdog. At what are
Right?
they at?
+4.
Uh, yeah, +4. Because you're right. That was a huge, 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 huge emotional swing for the Vikings last week, being down
Right.
33 points, going all the way back overtime, going all the way down to the very last couple seconds of it, where I cashed a bet, live bet it, by the way. Not to brag, won a couple
Live to
hundred
win
dollars.
200.
Whatever, nothing crazy, but we figured we'd
We
get the
do
money
our
because we knew,
thing.
we knew, we knew. But that's going to be a lot. The Giants are a decent football team. The only way, what I've been saying all year, is they can keep it close. And yes, they need the under to hit to be
Yes.
able to keep it within that number. Because if the Vikings get out and they run all over the place, they're going to blow them out the water. The Giants just don't have the power to do that. If
Right.
this game is a 20-20, 2017 football game, I love the Giants. I love them. So I'm going to take them for my first pick there.
Okay.
I'm going to ride with you with that under, Harry, because I'm
Okay.
going to swap my other under because now I'm going to talk myself out of it. Giants 3.5. I'm taking the Giants 3.5.
Okay. Giants 3.5. Okay.
Yeah. But I want to take. All right, no, I'm sticking with my first gut because that's the smart move. Yep. Giants 3.5. That's my first underdog. +3.5. All right, now let's talk about the unders here because this when I was going back and forth on there is Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm.
Saturday afternoon down in Dallas. going for what would have been pretty much if Dallas didn't choke and suck and all this other things. Dak Prescott throwing a pick six because he sucks. It would have been a close game for the division, for the number one seed. Now the Eagles have a little bit of a cushion. Gardner Minshew's going to be in there, rocking and rolling. I love Gardner. I want him to wear a Mike Leach Air Raid t-shirt pre-game with Coach Sirianni in memory of the great coach and his Air Raid offense. And I want them to come out and sling the ball for 400 plus yards and 7 touchdowns. But that's not realistic. It's Dallas. I keep giving that defense credit, and I'm going to do it again, but I shouldn't. And they burned me over and over again.
They lost us money, those bitches.
Yeah, both of these defenses are very good. The Dallas offense sucks cock. The Eagles are going to try to run the ball and try to minimize. And so is Dallas, honestly, at this point, because they can't throw the football. They can't trust Dak Prescott throwing against Darius Slay and James Bradbury, the two best cornerback duo, the best cornerback duo in the NFL.
Yep.
You know, you got pass rushers on this Eagles defensive line. You got guys all over the place. You have the most Pro Bowlers out of anybody in the NFL on this football team you're going up against. So they have to try to run the football, but they're not going to be able to do it. The clock's going to tick, 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 under 47 and a half. Eagles versus the Cowgirls. I don't love it. That's why I was going back and forth, because the Eagles can always score points. I think they're going to come out and be, you know, inspired for his coach to throw the ball, but that can also get him in trouble and maybe throw a pick or two that I'm not going to love. Under 47. That's the pick.
All right. That's it. Hey, you laid it out. I'm not giving any more information. You're tied to that game. You're the subject matter specialist on the Dallas and Eagles rivalry.
Am I crazy though thinking about that?
No, I mean, I think I think that Dallas, there's no way that game. Okay, you've had back-to-back weeks now where Dallas is going to be in their own head, because they're going to go in there thinking we have to crush the Eagles because they don't have Hurts, they don't have their starter. 2 weeks ago, we were minus 17.5. We could barely cover and barely won against Houston.
They didn't cover.
Not cover. They could barely win. They could barely win.
Overtime.
Houston covered massive. And then you go and play Jacksonville in OT and you lose against two really arguably bad teams. You kind of lost both ways, even though you won against Houston. It's like, how could you only win by that little? They're going to be totally overthinking, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. They're going to give Minshew more time than he deserves as backup. I think the Eagles are going to take advantage of a lot of Dallas mistakes, and I think that they're going to go to what they know. They're going to have A.J. Brown be open, truck people. They're going to have Sanders run the ball, do his thing. Your defense, are you going to get after Dak? I don't know. Are you going to pick him off? I'm very confident in that. We've seen that Dak can throw it away. I love the under 47.5. I think it's going to be a big game where, you know, the Eagles are going to look to put themselves in positions where they might not have their starters, so they might not have those big throws, but they're going to get in positions to score tight off the run. And at times they'll be able to kick it within 45, make it. I like it.
What do you think of the movement of that line? You know, it was Dallas to start -1 with Jalen in there, right?
Right.
It goes, you think Jalen's out for a bit, goes to 6.5. Dallas's favor, right? And then now it's all the way down to 4 with Minshew being declared in there now. Right. What do you make of that? Like, what is Vegas thinking? What is the are the bettors thinking? Is this am I crazy? Where that's why I was going back and forth on taking the Eagles at +4. No, because I think the Eagles are going to make a hell of a game of this, and Dallas has no.
Yes. Vegas's ultimate goal is to fuck us as much as they can. So they're trying to figure out where to put that.
That's a lot of line movement there. That's a lot of points moving.
It's a ton of line movement. There's a ton. I think that what it comes down to is, I think that they are betting on. I think that in all honesty, they're betting on for everybody to bet Dallas. I think that what they believe is that Dallas is coming off of a loss. They're going to look for blood. This is the reason why to do it. while
Only
Hurts is out.
4 with Minshew in
Only 4
there.
with
Why
right.
Dallas can't cover
Why
that? I
not?
like it. I like it. The
Right.
Eagles come in and fucking molly. Yep, I
Right.
like it. I
Right.
like it.
But again, I don't think it's a mollywhopping. I think it goes to the pick that you said. It's under 47 and a half. This
Yeah,
is
and
a
then
this is a
I'm saying like the
28
defense gets to him. Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah,
is a 28 this is a 25-17 game.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is
Weird
a
scores. Somebody gets a
right.
safety or 2-point conversion or
Like I
something
think
that
that you
just moves
guys are
that
going to
number.
mess Zeke up. I don't think that Zeke's going to be at all a part of this game. I think that you're going to have his number, and I think that you're going to force Dak to. I could see Dak throwing the ball 45 times this game.
I hope so. The only way Dallas has really beaten the Eagles over the past couple of years is when Zeke has gotten going. When they've been able to run the ball.
Right.
So I hope so. I want Dak to throw the football. I want Dak Prescott to try
Of
to
course you
beat the
do.
Eagles. Yes, I
Of
know he
course.
will. All right. I think that was good talk. Made me
Dude,
feel good.
I'm trying to talk myself out of it, but I feel so confident in it. I'm going to hit you with another under. I want to take an underdog, and I probably will. I'll probably do 3 unders this week. 3 underdogs, 3 unders. Tell me if you think I'm crazy if I shouldn't be going with this crowd. I feel like I'm going with the crowd even though I'm not seeing a crowd. Vegas on the road to Pittsburgh under 38 and a half. Let me tell you why. Pittsburgh catches 3 going into this last week. We take them +3. Not only does it hit, they freaking destroy Carolina as we knew that they would. The coaching, right?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
The,
Prime
the
time game too
prime time, the coaching
on
right there.
Saturday night.
Prime time game. And by the way, the way they've been building up this game, the long rivalry,
Franco Harris
the
passed
Raiders,
away. R.I.P. Give him
R.I.P.
respect a little
Jersey
bit.
Jerry here versus the Steelers, and they're like, watch this epic rivalry match. Both these teams suck. Nobody's worried about watching either of these teams except their fan bases this year. Let's just be perfectly clear. But let me tell you why I'm saying 38 and a half. First of all, as we had just mentioned, you do not see an ending like that in an NFL season except last week, which was hilarious, right? We look at that end score 30-24 off of a lateral. The defense houses Mac Jones, goes on, wins the game. Pittsburgh +3 makes a fool out of Carolina, wins 24-16. What I think is that Mitch had a good game. Mitch isn't having another good game. That's for sure. And on top of that, I don't think that the Raiders can score over. I don't think that they can score over 21 again this season. Mark my words. I don't believe it. I know it's very few points. Maybe I give myself a little cushion. I might go under 40. At that point, I'm taking an alternate spread. Am I crazy here? Am I going with the crowd? Is everybody betting the under here, truly? I feel like I'm making good points. I feel that Mitch steps back. He has another game the way he did against the Ravens. I think he throws a lot of interceptions, but I think that the Steelers defense gets after Carr. I don't think he gets the ball to Adams. I don't think that they make big plays here. I think that we go into half, maybe 13-6. That's what I see out of this game. I see this being very low scoring. I don't think that Josh McDaniels can get higher than beating Papa Billy. I don't think he can go back to back and make something work. And I think that Tomlin knows that Mitch just had his NFL season last week. He was horrible the week before. He just won on the road. Now he's at home. He's going to lose in front of the home crowd possibly. But he's not going to score.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody's going to bet this under.
Yes, and I agree with you on that statement because
right, and that's what I'm worried about.
It's a prime time game there.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday night, Christmas Eve.
A lot of
Two
history.
teams. Yeah. I keep reverting back to early in the year, right? This Vegas team. They keep pulling me back. Devontae Adams. You got Hunter Renfrow back now. You got Darren Waller back, Josh Jacobs. That team, I want them to score points. I feel like they could score points by themselves, And it's Franco Harris night, prime time, Christmas Eve. They're gonna try to play out for their legend. He's been around that team forever, always
Right.
doing great things for them. But that could also mean a close tight game, 19 to 13 or something like that, come down to the final drive. Somebody's going to try to score a game-winning touchdown. I like the under.
Screw it. Raiders plus 2.5. That's the pick.
All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's move into it. Let's hit our overs and our favorites real quick here. Harold, I'm going to hit you with my favorite over here first. I think this number is very low just because of the weather. And what have we said? The weather doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Over
Hashtag there
40.
too now. Is the weather due?
No, it's not due. Not this
due.
week.
Not this week.
Over 40.5, Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears. Bills just proved that they could score points. And it's not going to be anywhere close to be as worse than it was on their home field out there in Buffalo that it is in Chicago. Now, we talked about it's very cold and such out there, but the Bears are able to score some points. Fields is able to move around and make some plays. Josh Allen can play in the cold. I think that's way too low. I can see the Bears putting up 21, Buffalo putting 30 plus, easy money in the bank.
Great.
Love the 40.
Absolutely agree. I'm doing one more under, by the way, because I got to do it. Indianapolis plus 4.5. I just got to say it real quick. Chargers are coming off 2 major wins. People are going to be hammering them. They're on the road. Indianapolis coming off of a major loss. Everybody's going to be hammering the Chargers. It's a primetime game, Monday night, over unders 45.5. Big Dick Nick stepping up, the Super Bowl champion. He's going to be the only one with a ring in that whole building. I love Indianapolis here. I think that they keep it close. Indianapolis plus 4.5. Okay, now to, as you were just talking, our faves and our overs. And what do you think about that pick real quick? Anything?
No, I don't hate it.
Okay, good.
I like your logic.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Trilly, I'm thinking about hammering it with you, the over 40.5. I feel like that's too low a numbers to score. You know what? Actually, no, screw that. I'm not going with that. I'm doing over 41.5 Cincy on the road to New England. I think that New England scores some here, but I think that Cincy puts on an absolute light show. They're looking to separate big time. They're looking to have the AFC North in the bag. They want to make sure that they don't know if the Ravens can even win at home. They want to win big time on the road once again. I'm taking it over 41.5. Cincy.
I like the Bengals -3 too in that. I mean,
great. Yeah.
I'm going between 3 teams here for my favorite, and I'm gonna pick one of them for my lock. Detroit over the Carolina Panthers -2.5. I don't know why that's 2.5. Carolina's
fine. Yep.
Yeah,
should be a lot
weird.
more. Should be a lot more.
Lions are looking for a win to keep their playoff dreams alive for the first time in forever. So I don't know why.
I'm going to throw out 1 point. That's a line right there that I think burns us the way that Dallas did last week, because we were saying the same thing about Dallas. Should have been more.
Disagree, but what? They would have to pretty much lose outright, honestly.
Yeah, they would, but they got to travel again. It's back-to-back weeks worth of travel, right? I don't like that line, dude. Detroit should be minus a minimum of 3.5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch that game.
And then the other one I'm looking at is Cleveland 2.5 against the Saints.
Right.
That's another weird line. I feel like Cleveland should be catching a lot more. The Saints team's not good. They can't score. Their defense is meh. A lot of guys are going out. Olave's out. Thomas is out. Jarvis Landry's out. They have nobody to throw the football to, other than Johnson. I think Cleveland should be able to run the football. Maybe that's the only reason it's so close, is because Cleveland really can't score in bunches. But I think this might be the breakout game for Deshaun, where he finally starts getting the air game going a little bit and using his own legs. So that's kind of where I'm going off of that. I mean, I feel like 2.5 is a field goal, dude. A field
Right.
goal. With that defense, their defense can even score
Absolutely.
points. And pick six, Andy Dalton, nice guy, but he stinks. They should have Taysom or Jameis in there. So I'm just tired. I'm tired of the Saints, honestly, at that point. So I like that 2.5. That'll be my favorite to go along with my favorite over in the Bills 40.5.
So the game that there are a few that I'm going back and forth here with of which one's going to be my lock, because I got to give my favorite here. And I'm stuck before I get to my lock, dude. I'm stuck on this Seattle at Chiefs game. I'm not touching the points. I'm not touching the 10 because the Chiefs were way too close with that Houston game. I don't want to touch it. But I want to feel out your reasoning before I make a pick here if I'm going to take the over 49.5. I feel like that this is a game where the Chiefs for a little while were letting Houston get too close to them. I think that they shut Seattle out here. Like, I don't know that Seattle scores more than 10 in this game. I could see like the Chiefs, especially that they keep on losing. And I think the Chiefs are pissed that they let Houston get close. If we go with that logic, do the Chiefs just go on a complete tirade and just air it out all game long? And it's like watching Steph Curry in his prime. I mean, do they put it up 30 plus?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they haven't done it in a little bit. They've been struggling in the red zone the past couple games. Just
Right.
watching them get in those, first and goals and go all the way to like they get the 4th and 2, and then they end up
Right.
kicking field goals. You're like, what are you doing, Patty? Just hit Kelsey.
Complete.
Just
Get
do
it
it.
done.
Like
Get it done. No, straight up.
they haven't.
How much money have you and I been losing on touchdown props? I'm hitting them every
Yeah,
time. Kelsey 1, Kelsey 2, and then it's just burning $10 there, 15 there. It's like, this is adding up, dog. We get it done.
yeah, it's rough, but they're always because that team's not good that they're facing. You know what I'm saying? But
Maybe this is
I
Seattle's
wouldn't
breakout.
touch it.
Don't touch it. All
What?
right, then I'm not. Maybe this is where Seattle breaks out a little bit.
Well, because they've gone in a lull when they started the year hot. Dougie P, what a goat! I love that guy.
I know you do. All right, I gotta give one then before I hit this lock. No, what, dude, how few points on that Brown game? 32.5. That's wild. That's nothing.
I know it's
The,
insane.
the other game that's so weird, 37.5. Commanders 49ers. You want to take the over, obviously, because you think that the Commanders can just run it on him, but then it's like, is it a grind it out game? I don't know. 49ers -7. Not with a backup QB. I still can't trust it. Doesn't matter. Dude, I don't know what game I'm taking here. I don't. Over 35.5. Baltimore, Atlanta.
All
No,
right,
no, no, no. Do I take the points? Do I take Baltimore here?
dude. I told you I don't like this week. That like it's tough.
Do I? And we're less than a minute. I got to ride Baltimore -6.5.
I love it. I love it.
We'll hit this break. We'll hit our locks and the parlay. Bag. Fucking asshole.
We
All
just
right,
had
we're
a
here.
little
We're here.
inner podcast beef right there.
Yeah.
Harry's talking about whether that Ravens pick's gonna burn us in the end there or burn him because you better not put that in the parlay. But
And
I was
your
just
exact
saying how I
response
don't.
was, "Well, I don't bet them. I just don't bet them." Like,
I
fuck
just
you.
don't.
Like,
So
fucking
I haven't been burned by it. But anyway, you know what we haven't really been burned by? I think only 3 times this year have we missed a lock.
facts.
And
Our locks are tremendous.
the first time we missed a lock was this past week, and that was me. And that's because I took those daggum Dallas Cowgirls. And
It
that's on me.
happens.
Hand up.
It
Fuck that
happens.
up. Other than that, early in the year, when we started off, we were new to it, fresh blood. Now we're locked in.
Now we're locked in.
Locked in, almost sharps. So let's get into it. Let's give a year of locks here. What are you thinking first, Harold?
Well, dude, I've been struggling if I was going to do it or not, but I think that my lock's going to be the best game of this Sunday, and I think that you know what I'm talking about. Um, it's a game for validation, and it's a game to keep playoff hopes alive. It's a game that we alluded to earlier in the show. It's Green Bay on the road to the Dolphins. This
Okay.
is a very, very,
It's a
very
lot
interesting
there.
game. It's a very interesting game. I think it's the best game of Sunday. Green Bay's catching 3.5, Miami minus 3.5, over under 49.5. Let's talk about it. Green Bay's on the road. This is huge. They did not complete when they needed to complete. Like we said, they could have scored at least 14 more points against the Rams, and they didn't, but they still won 26-12. Miami loses close, 31-29 or 32-29. Miami's out of the play, most likely out of the playoffs. Just because other people are clinching. Is that correct? I'm correct in saying that, right? Yeah.
Say that again.
Miami's like might not make the playoffs.
Yes, I mean they need to win to
Yeah.
stay in.
They both need to win to stay in. And I like this over under here because I think that this could be a
Well,
shootout.
the Jets losing yesterday, but tonight that helps the Dolphins a lot.
Okay.
So,
The question is for before I make, and I don't even know the pick. I just know that this is the game because I think that there's so much riding on this game. I think this is an awesome game. Does Aaron want to make the playoffs more, or does Tua want to be solidified more? That's what it comes down to. Does Aaron want the playoffs, or does Tua want the respect? I'm taking Green Bay plus 3.5. I think that what it comes down to is at the end of the day, even though he's lost to the Lions, he's lost to some teams in division. Aaron wants nobody coming out of his division except Green Bay. That matters to him. He would hate the thought of the Lions being able to clinch. He would
well,
hate the
the way
thought.
he said it when they asked him after the game, you got all above 500 teams coming in. It's like, no, no, no. One of those teams is at 500. That's the
Right.
Lions. So he
It's the
knows.
Lions. He does know.
He
He's
knows.
keeping track. He's keeping track. And the big thing is that I think for a little while, Aaron wanted to be in Miami. And I don't think that Miami made enough of an effort to get him. And I think he wants to show him this is what you're missing out on. I think that this could absolutely be a shootout. I think that Tua is going to look to light it up. The person who's going to lead the pack, don't get me wrong, Aaron is not going to be leading this game. Tua is. The question is that can Aaron keep up with him? Tua's going to look to say, I'm as good as Josh Allen. We can win this division. I am a great quarterback. I am like Jalen Hurts, where I'm going to be able to get a contract after next year. This is who I am. I'm the real deal. Doesn't matter if I'm spazzing out. I'm good to go. Aaron's got to keep up. And I think that Aaron wants to keep up and will keep up. Green Bay plus 3.5.
Huh? Lock.
That's
Lock it
my
up.
lock.
All right. Moving into my lock. I like the team in your division, team leading your division,
Okay.
-3 Bengals
Great pick.
over the New England Patriots. Now, you can talk yourself into, all right, the Patriots just had probably the worst loss in NFL history, the
Right.
way that went down last week.
Also, I feel
Bill
like the line should
Belichick,
be bigger.
yes, Bill Belichick will never have that ever happen again. He
Right.
wants revenge. He wants to bounce back, prove that he can do this, prove that he can do that. The Bengals just came back and they might have a look down spot after coming back from 17-0 to dominate Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's old quarterback, who probably won the
Right.
divorce as it looks as of right now.
Right. No question.
You think, and then on the flip side of it, it could be a look down spot for them coming into a team that had those problems. But when it looks at it here, the Pats are not a good football team.
No.
They are not. They can't score. Their defense is okay, but I like this Bengals team to, if they do get hit or knocked around a little bit in this football game, to still be able to score, to still be able to score touchdowns, to be able to pull away and their defense to make plays because this Patriots offense doesn't have it. They just don't. The only game this year where they were able to score was against a bad Minnesota Vikings team on Thanksgiving. Other than that, they can't score. They've struggled. They've looked lost all year long. Bengals -3. Love it. Lock it up.
Love it. Lock it up. Lock them up.
Let's put it together here.
Ready for the parlay, the moneymaker. Here it is. The
odds. It's hashtag. It's due.
It's due. We bring you the broccoli Rob. We bring you the Sunday sauce. We bring it all. This is the HTLP, the HTL parlay. Trilly's got 2 picks. Harold the Wizard's got 2 picks. All right, it's time to go. Dude, do you have your set? I got one right now, ready, locked and loaded, and I think you're going to be surprised with it. But are you ready?
Yep.
All right. First one, I talked myself into it as you were finishing out your ice capade over there. I'm taking Seattle +10. Seattle's been in a lump. I think that they're ready to listen, man. I think that they're ready to give somebody a bad time. They were the covering kings throughout most of the NFL season. I think it's time for them to get back on that train. Seattle +10. I think that the Chiefs win here, but I think it's by touchdown, not by 10.
All right.
There it is.
All right. Before I give my first part of the parlay, this HTLP is sponsored by Orion Remodelers and Builders. Shout out my Uncle Rob. Now, Rob, now that I shouted you out, you guys are the best remodelers in all of Philadelphia. Call them for all your needs: apartment, home, flooring, ceiling, tile,
Orion.
Orion, just like
Orion.
the stars. For the stars, when you think about your dream house, you reach for Orion. Now that I read that all for you, Rob, give us a couple $100. You're rich.
Couple hunch.
But now, my first part of the parlay, I like the Houston Texans. Moneyline.
Oh, now you are a dirty dog. Okay.
Moneyline.
Moneyline.
I like it.
So break that pick down for our listeners and for our viewers. Tell us why. Because you're going to there, dude. You think they're winning outright. But I don't I like it. Tell us why.
I thought about the 3.5, right? But when I'm looking at odds wise, it's -118 or +144, right? If you take it money line or the spread. If they cover that 3 points, they're going to have a chance to win the football game.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that this Titans team has been in turmoil, they have guys in their locker room being interviewed after games, asking them, do you guys think it's slipping away from you? The Jacksonville Jaguars are on your heels. And they go, yeah, I think it is. Like, we see them. They just beat us. Like, and they just won on Thursday night, Jacksonville did. They know what's coming. I can see this being a game where they just hold on to it too much. Ryan Tannehill or Malik Willis or whoever they put in there, they don't have it. Derrick Henry hasn't been able to get the Tractorcito season going. I think this is a game where their Texans are so banged up. This spread should be so much more that I love just straight up take them.
Dude, I love that. I think that you're right. And and the fact of the matter is, dude, the Titans aren't the real deal. They suck.
Should I take the spread just to?
No,
because I want the people.
The money's there.
I think
the money's there.
They're gonna win.
I get it, dude. The Titans suck. Like they suck, and Houston's on a roll right now. They're due to get a W.
They've been all these losses. They've been close losses.
That's the most they're due take of this parlay. Straight up, they're due to get it. Okay. Next pick, I think it's easy.
Shout out Orion, Robs.
Shout out Orion. Orion sponsors the parlay. Orion for your best parlay needs. I'm
gonna get frisky with it here, Harry.
Yeah, you go.
Another one.
Okay.
Giants money line over the Minnesota Vikings.
Dude, I was thinking about saying that. I swear to God, you think they go for back-to-back wins? That's a major step back for Minnesota, dude. Tell me why.
Minnesota's not that good, dude. They're not. We've seen them last week. We talked about it earlier, how that was such an emotional game. It's going to be hard to repeat to put up those points. The Giants have a
Two
good
money
defense.
lines.
What I said earlier, the Giants have to keep it close. If the Vikings get up 21-0, we're done. Like, honestly. But if this game is 10-3, 17-14 going into half, I like our chances and I love it. The Giants to squeak out with a win. You know how much that hurts me in division, but the Eagles got the division locked up. I don't care. I think the Giants can squeak out a win here because the Vikings. What?
Nothing. Keep going. It's gonna be crazy. Keep going.
But the Vikings are
They're
due
due.
for a big letdown.
They're due.
See, I hate banking on that. Our best phrase in the business there,
But it's
but
true.
I'm just looking at these lines. I'm looking at the way that the season has gone.
Yeah.
I love the Giants to go in there and catch a nice big fat dub because they need it. They got some teams like the Lions and the likes running at their heels here, snipping, biting, wanting to get in that wild card spot. The Packers, they need this win.
They need it. They need it bad.
Don't.
Dude, what I'm worried about is I'm about to take another underdog. And not only am I about to take another underdog, I'm possibly taking a money line. And what I'm scared about is, do you realize this is our first parlay all with underdogs that we're taking? It's all underdogs. But you know what? They're due. The EAGLES Eagles money line.
I like it. Money line. I love it.
Money line. Seattle +10. Houston money line. Giants money line. Eagles money line. 15 to win 497. This is big, dude.
Lock.
This is big. That's a lock. That's a lock. Are we placing it?
I placed it right now.
We're placing it there. I placed it right now. Didn't even second guess.
No way. That's how confident I am.
Dude, this is big. I'm putting mine in right now. I told you the app's giving me trouble. I got to do it through the computer.
I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. Because we've been so close and we've been taking those chalk picks the past couple weeks.
We have.
And it's not, trying to overthink it, this and that. It's going with our gut. It's going with what we see, our eyeballs, because watching all this football and seeing what's going on, the trends and all that, you throw it out the window at this point and just go with what you see. And what we're seeing is that these games are going to be fun this weekend.
A real deal, man.
Man, I'm at a loss for words because I'm excited. Real excited.
Dude, the thing is about this is that this changes the momentum for a bunch of for two teams here particularly.
Yes, that's where I was thinking of. Yeah.
So, for three teams technically, Eagles win, it solidifies to anybody and everybody they're the real deal. Number two, Dallas loses, it shows everybody that they truly do suck because they lost to a backup. But number three, dude, if the Giants win this game, and they will, it says that Minnesota's a joke. That they're a real joke, too, because they should win this game. But I like what you're saying, where to go back to my point about why I'm taking the under in this game, they don't have it in the tank, dude. They don't have it in the tank. And this Giants coaching is the real dude. They could get this could win off of a Danny Times touchdown. How crazy would that be? And we're being straight up.
Or Kirk Cousins, going down for a game-winning drive, but he throws a pick or something,
You've been listening to the Week 16 upcoming, the Week 15 recap. I am Harold the Wizard. I'm joined by my co-host, one of my best friends, Brendan the Bod Petrilli. Trilly, take us out.
Oh, love all you guys. Subscribe to the podcast. Let's get those numbers up. Follow us on Instagram. We're going to be putting out our bet slips. Harry's going to throw it together for you. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the likes there, TikTok, all that jazz for the clips coming out, the bet slips, so you can tail us or fade us, whatever you want. But we're winning. We're winning your money. We're having fun with it here. Let's get after it. Shout out to 215. Go Birds, baby. Big weekend here. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy everything else, whatever else is going on.
Roll Vens. Roll Vens.